great guys. They're all making fun of each other, teasing each other, roasting each other. I want to tell you what they said about me tonight. I was told I look like a youth pastor. A youth pastor that secretly listens to Nickelback. That's what was the one jealous that Nicolas Cage if he had a vitamin D deficiency? And then the best one was your host, Michael, in the beginning. I wrote it down. He said I looked like a bloated Elon Musk. If he was from Apache Junction. That's not good. You guys are fun. This is a good crowd. We have like every type of music here. Look around. This is good. We got young people. You guys like all download your music. We got a lot of CDs and cassettes here. A couple 8-tracks back there. Oh shit, Phonograph is here. I see you, sir. You can laugh louder. He can't hear you. This is good. We got millennials, a colonial. We're having a good time. And you got the best beard in the house, man. Look back. Let them see your beard. Wow. If you're here, who's running the vape shop? I'm confused. And you're by yourself? You're like an Uber driver on break? What's happening over here? And you two are scissoring? I think that's pretty awesome. Yeah. I saw your Subaru parked outside. Good stuff. Hey, I do comedy everywhere, and I just got back from a third world country. Yeah. Yuma, Arizona. Holy shit! It's like the Star Wars cantina down there. That's one of those towns, and if you have all your teeth, they look at you like you're suspicious. So, true story, I'll share with you guys. You guys are a good crowd. I got pulled over by the Yuma Police Department, right? And this cop walks up and he's like, "Why are you going so fast?" And I completely lied, and I was like, "Oh, my wife called. She said the house that we're staying in, the front window is broken, and she thinks a burglar's still inside." I swear to God, this cop goes, "Let's get this son of a bitch." Guys, he makes me follow him to the house. I call the wife in a panic. I'm like, "Weird request. Need you to break out the front window." My poor son that was taking a nap was arrested for a felony, so that's alright. But I was doing comedy at their comedy club down there, and in Yuma they call this place Giggles Comedy Spot, and the nickname for this comedy club is the G Spot. I told my wife I was going to the G Spot. She's like, "I'm just glad you finally found it." And I hear a woo, and I think, I was bombing. I was not doing well. There was a guy in the front row in a wheelchair. I did so bad, he stood up and walked up. I heard we had parents. Where's the parents at? Yeah, who's got the most kids? You guys got kids? One? You're like left in the car? You're like, "Fuck that kid." Who's got more than 3? You know we got more than 3 kids? Oh, the lesbian? You're not doing it right, babe. How many kids you got? Fuck you. 10 kids? Are you serious? Holy shit. Is this your husband? Yeah, you could pull out parking spots there. 10 kids for real? We've identified the Mormons. There they are. 10 kids? You can't swallow? What's your problem? I have 2 kids. I have 2 teenage boys. Is this a young joke with young people? My son comes up to me and he goes, "Dad, who sings the song Radioactive?" And I'm like, "Imagine Dragons." And he goes, "Imagine dragging these nuts across your face." What the fuck does that mean? I'll never forget when we got pregnant with my son. My wife wanted to talk about baby names. And she goes, "What do you think of the baby name Jamal? Or Kareem?" And I said, "I'm thinking Is this my baby? Well, we love little Jamal. My one son, I took him to Disneyland. We're on that roller coaster that's in the dark. I always forget the name of it, Space Mountain. So we're on Space Mountain. Mid-ride, we hear a 12-year-old girl screaming at the top of her lungs. And then we realized I was that 12-year-old. But I look over, honest to God, mid-ride, my son is text messaging on his phone. Mid-ride! And then it made me realize how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be on life support. And he's gonna unplug me to charge that fucking phone. And I don't get this, like my kids are gross, man. Like all my kids do is play video games and masturbate. That's all my kids do. I don't know why I pointed at you, sir. Don't lick your lips, that's weird. They do, all they do is play video games and masturbate. We don't have a washcloth in the house that folds correctly. Last time I washed my face, I cut my fucking eyelid. And I know my one son has a masturbation problem. We bought him a Fitbit for his birthday. That motherfucker's averaging 75,000 steps a day. What about you, Lick Lipper? Is this your girlfriend, your wife? What's going on? Married, dating, fucking? What are you doing? You're married, so not fucking. Alright, cool. You guys, anyone dating? Anyone dating in this room here? Not? Yeah, heard a woo? How long have you been dating? Alright, one of you yell. How long have you been dating? 7 years? Holy shit! Dating for 7 years? What is she on a fucking lease to own program? What are you I can tell they're dating though. He's smiling, got hope and shit. You guys flirt in front of each other? Fucking photograph shits in front of each other, alright. I farted like 2 weeks ago in front of the wife, and she's like, "You're disgusting." She farted this morning at the hotel, and I was like, "You're disgusting." And she goes, "That wasn't a fart. That was an angel's whisper." Well, your angel needs mouthwash. An angel's whisper. That made me laugh so hard I farted. Who's been married the longest? Anyone over 20 years in the room? Right up front? Guys, how many years? How many? 54? And where is that? Right behind you there? I was like ready to say, dude, this is weird. All right, 54? Is like in a row? Last time I was here at Stand Up Live, we had a couple sitting here. Swear to God, they've been married, what was it? 73 years. And I asked the husband, I go, "What's the secret to marriage?" And he goes, "Communication and always understanding each other." I asked the wife the same question. She goes, "No habla inglés." My wife and I, we just celebrated 31 years married. I married my high school sweetheart. Yeah, I was her teacher. She wanted the A, I gave her the D. Just a joke. Just a joke, Karen. I was her youth pastor. First year I was married, I asked my wife for a threesome. Look how quiet I get. And she agreed, and I said, "Bring home one of your friends." She did. Friend's name? Deshaun. Pretty sure that's Jamal's dad. My wife is mad at me though. We went to your mall out here, Scottsdale Fashion Square, is that correct? Scottsdale Fashion Square, we got a wedding next week we gotta go to, and she asked me that question, no bad she gets. She goes, do I look fat in this dress? And I'm a comedian, I'm trying to be funny, and I was like, it depends. And she was like, depends on what? I was like, how much is that dress? She says $1,300. And I was like, fuck that, Lizzo, I'm not doing that shit. No. Alright, you guys want clean or dirty? Oh shit, alright. Alright, so ladies, I need you to trust me on this joke, alright? You'll be fine, but trust me, okay? This is an impression of my wife giving me a hand job when I was 18 years old, and we were married, all right? Before I show you this impression, please understand that we had no idea what we were doing. Impression of my wife giving me a hand job at 18 years old. An impression of my wife having an orgasm. An impression of my wife having an orgasm. Yeah, just kidding. I've never seen my wife have. I just had a birthday, and birthday's in the front row. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's your birthday, right? It's rude to ask you how old you are. How much do you weigh? Happy birthday, Jim. I don't know, man. I just turned the big 50, 50 years old. Oh! Yeah. My body's changing, man. Things are happening. Me naked? Think of a melted candle. Or a hairless cat. My buddy has a hairless cat. We're at his house. The cat sniffed my phone, unlocked my facial recognition. And your toughness changes as you get older. I remember being 22 years old at the bar, and this guy calls my wife a fucking bitch. I get in a fist fight, I go home with a black eye, I'm not proud of it. Last week, we're at the country bar where we live, things changed, because this guy was like, called my wife a bitch, and I was like, yeah, sometimes, yeah. I still went home with a black eye, man. Sex changes as you get older. I usually wear an Apple Watch in the bedroom, right? So we're in the bedroom, we're doing our thing, and I'm like 3 pumps in. The Apple Watch goes, are you on a walk? I'm like, no, Siri, I'm having sex. She's like, oh, do I need to open Apple Pay? And you gotta get medical procedures as you get older. I had to get my first prostate exam. Not good. And I was nervous, man. I was nervous. I go to the doctor, he's like, have you had sex recently? And I said, is 6 months recently? He said yes. So I said no. So he goes to do this prostate exam, and I'm very nervous. When I'm nervous, I'm inappropriate, right? So he goes to grab the gloves, the medical gloves. I put my hand on his hand, and I was like, we won't need those. Let's raw dog this. He ran out of the office. The nurse walks in, she goes, he said your prostate's fine. I wanted to talk about my job a little bit. I'm actually a naval veteran, retired from the police department. Is that right? Yeah, all the comedians you saw tonight, they're all here doing their community service. So. I was asshole cop. I'm the first one to tell you there's something like that. I was not. But, all right. Can I arrest you, sir? Like I said, sir, get registered. Get registered. No, I was not an asshole cop. I was the DARE officer like half of my career. Yeah, we all know how effective that program was. This guy was my honor student right here. But I am a hypocrite. I got my medical marijuana card like 10 years ago. Do you realize what I'm telling you? I told these kids for years to just say no to drugs. It was my turn. I was like, fuck yeah! And I was not good with the pot, man. I smoked way too much one time. I'm walking down the street to pick up my daughter from middle school. Yeah, I don't have a daughter, so. Tell you a couple stories I got in trouble with. We had this guy one time, super drunk, on drugs, something. And he's like, fuck you, pig, pig this, pig that. And as I'm putting the handcuffs on him, he urinates himself. I got caught on the body camera saying, yeah, I might be the pig, but you're the one that's gonna wee all the way. I got 3 days off for this shit, man. And I used to work sex crimes. I worked sex crimes for a year. Despicable job. It's a tough job. But we had this guy, terrible guy. I'm putting him in the cell, and he's trying to be funny with me. And he's like, see you later, alligator. And I got caught on the body camera once again going, at the trial, fucking pedophile. I got 5 days, but fuck that guy. Yeah. Celebrities, sometimes you gotta deal with them in the police department. I pulled over Penn Jillette. You guys know who that is? Penn Jillette. He's from Penn and Teller, magician, mentalist. I pull him over, and he says to me in the middle of the freeway, middle of the night, he goes, officer, if I can read your mind, will you let me out of the ticket? And I'm not gonna tell you what he said, I'm gonna show you. I need a volunteer. Lick Lipper, we're using you. Alright? I want you, sir, to think of a celebrity that we would all know, like an actor, the young people, the older people, and say that actor's name loud and proud. What's his name? Dave Chappelle. So let's see if that's the one picture I brought. This is what Penn Jillette did to me on the freeway. Dave Chappelle has a baby, everybody. Now some of you are not appreciating this joke. This is a fucking genius joke. So what if you would have said like Tom Cruise? I had this shit covered. Alright, I have your clothes up here. Clean or dirty, and I'll end it here. Dirty? Alright, I'll tell you. You guys are so fun. I'll tell you my sexual fantasy with my dear wife, alright? My sexual fantasy with my dear wife is to wear my full police uniform and have her eat a donut off my wiener. She agreed to do it. She even agreed to buy the donuts. But she didn't come home with a Krispy Kreme. She didn't come home with a Dunkin' Donuts. She came home with a mini Hostess donut. When I hear you, that was too big. Fuck you. Now my wife treats my penis like the sun. Like she knows it's up there, but she'll never look directly at it. So listen, before I close, if you'd like to follow my comedy, I'd love some fans. If you are young, you can follow me on Instagram at The Cop Comic. If you are old, you can follow me on Facebook at The Cop Comic. And then Phonograph, we had a moment. Fuck, I don't know. You can follow me at Cracker Barrel, alright? Alright. This is an impression of my wife giving a blowjob. Will you just give me a blowjob? I go, look like you're trying to test a 9-volt battery. She goes, you're too big. I'm like, really? I said, my dick is too big? She's like, no, your stomach. It fucking sucks. I said, is my stomach really that big? And she got me back. She goes, no. I am Jim Perry.